this individual was an integral part of the making of this show. Christian used to refer to him as his mainest man, and he's back. He's making his big return to FRL for the first time in years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Willie Saylor.
Willie. Oh, he's getting a call already. Someone's like, get off the call. Get out of here. We all.
Hey, as soon as it starts, right? As soon as it's introduced, as soon as it's alluded to, phone call. How we doing, boys?
What's up, Willie? Man, listen, I was thinking back, last time we were on video together, I believe I was under oath. So I think this show is already off to a way better start.
Way better. Is this being recorded for Karen purposes?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Hey, I'm sitting in the green room here. You guys are all fancy now. You guys got very sophisticated studios and stuff. You guys going through the process, testing with the team yesterday. But I'm sitting in the waiting room here, and I'm watching you guys and Ben with the younger piece. And oh man,
the younger piece,
literally youngest piece.
With a younger clip, and it dawned on me, like you were Ben and these other young bucks have gotten you a little looser over the years. When we first started, I couldn't. Your face when I would do certain things and say certain things, which is part of what made, I think, a show with me and you work so well, is you were by the book. You were a little bit more conservative. I was a little bit more loose cannon. But man, Ben and those guys really loosened you up.
Loosened you up, Pyles.
Well, you got Ben, you got Sion. There's nothing but bad influences around me. And I do think that did make work. I'm trying to loosen up a little bit.
One of my favorite memories of Christian straight manning and you going in on him. If we can play audio clip 39, this made me laugh so hard going back and listening to these clips. So Christian was known for booking terrible hotels. Is that right, Willie?
Oh, absolutely. Cheapest he could get.
So this is you guys arguing about the quality of extended stays.
There was nothing wrong with that place.
Extended stay.
Willie, you are such a pretentious little Nancy.
You know what extended stays are, right? They're like shelters for homeless people.
That is not true.
Yes, they are. To the extent that the lady was like, "Yeah, if you need towels, bring them to the front desk." I'm in a different building. Now I'm gonna be having a shopping cart full of laundry, bringing them over to the front desk. So the point
extended stays have kitchens. You could cook a meal in there. They're the best hotels.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go watch freaking junior finals, come back and freaking cook steak au poire.
That's such a good line. I remember it. I don't know. Do you remember which one that was? I remember that one.
Oh God.
It was in Frisco, Texas.
No, I don't remember.
It was in Frisco.
Okay.
Man, so the big load segment earlier with Bracky, that red roof inn that you guys stayed in was so bad. I drove by there. I remember I was like driving by and you guys are talking about it. I'm like, oh my God, that's where they're staying?
It was incredible.
Were you at that one?
Yeah. There was a red roof inn incident. The red roof inn incident that was terrible. There was a biker gang in the parking lot for sure.
Yeah, Bracky came on and told that story too.
Big Loads Bracky.
One time we let Bader pick. I don't know. Bader book hotels. This is back when I don't know what the process was, but there wasn't much of a process.
Not much.
Bader, did anybody book hotels yet for NCAAs in Cleveland? No. Bader, can you get on that? Or like, Bader, anybody got ideas? Bader, I'll do it. Bader does it. It was like a fallout shelter. And the weirdest thing about it was, like, I was borderline scared. I'm not scared of much, but I was borderline scared to go in there. But the one odd thing that was so out of place is they had a vending machine or an ATM machine for Bitcoin. It was the first one I've ever seen.
Yeah, let's go. How much did you buy?
I'm like, Ben might be onto something here, but I think whoever put this ATM here is not aware of the audience in this clientele in this building.
So I actually have a clip from that podcast where you guys recall the Cleveland Murder Hotel, clip 35. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Yeah.
We lived in we call it Murder Hotel.
We call it Murder Hotel because we stay in bad places. It's kind of our thing.
No, it shouldn't be our thing.
I kind of like it.
No, I don't like it.
We have these hilarious stories every single time. One time they thought we were in jail.
Story. I want to live.
We lived. There was one murder a couple years ago. So I was Googling our place just for not looking for if anyone had been murdered there. I was just like trying to find where it was to send someone the address.
Yeah.
And the number one Google mention was that someone was murdered there on the 7th floor.
Well, you look up a thing about a hotel, and it's like, oh, somebody was killed there, and you think to yourself, okay,
It was domestic in nature.
A random
It was
event.
a drug deal.
Somebody, right? It was a drug deal. It's like, but we get there, yeah. Absolutely, somebody was murdered. I mean, I'm sure there was multiple people murdered where we were.
There were probably bodies in that hotel.
It was a disgusting piece of crap.
It was really.
It was horrible.
It was really bad.
They sold Bitcoin there, though.
Somehow
you could buy Bitcoin.
I
It was
swear, you could get a Bitcoin there. They had a Bitcoin machine dispenser.
ATM. They said ATM.
A Bitcoin ATM.
You could buy
This
one
place-
Bitcoin for $10,000.
This place didn't have working
guys
water
really
barely.
buy
The
They had a
TVs
fish tank. They had a fish tank on cinder blocks. The fish tank was the color. Kai, can we get a shot of the FloWrestling radio? That was the color of the water. The sign in the front said hospital rate. What does that mean?
You remembered well, but honestly, I will
It
say,
was good.
I do think that is the worst place we have ever stayed. And it's
These are a conversation with a cop.
at some point.
we should go back.
We should
It
get NCAs back
makes
to
for good
Cleveland
bonding.
for that reason only.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you had a conversation
I
with a
think
cop
it
who
is
told
going
you?
back there in a couple. Is it going back there in a couple years?
Yeah, it is. I forget which year, but it is going back
We
to
should
Cleveland.
stay there and bond. Yeah, but you guys, Christian, you called me pretentious with hotel pay. You rose a few notches.
Well, I think Flo's risen a few notches, and now we have the new policy. You get your own room, which is
Get your own room.
Get your own room.
You guys are spoiled little brats.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Anymore, we now go Airbnbs
Yeah, we do
pretty
Airbnbs.
much.
Yeah, you can save money that way. But yeah, no, we're doing.
When I worked there, they would build bunk beds in a room. Just to cut down on cost.
They'd ship you off with the lumber.
Yeah, and in my first couple months, I had to share a bed with Bader one time.
I can imagine that.
Zeb was in one bed, and so it's like, am I going to stay in the bed with Zeb? Or Bader's a little guy. So
I
that
gotta
was
tell a
easy.
Bader story.
Okay.
It might be a little Sion-ish, if you have young kids watching, turn it off. Whenever Bader would stay at my house, I'd let Bader stay at my house when we were, and stuff.
Right.
He would always do this gimmick. I don't know if he did it to you, but he would just crumple up a whole bunch of Kleenex and leave them by my pillow.
I don't understand.
Okay,
Don't explain it. Don't explain it.
Okay.
I think Bader was touching Younger's donger.
Yeah, go on it.
One of the worst was LJ. If you stayed on the road with LJ, obviously he's deaf, so he didn't set an alarm, right? He was a producer, so if the tournament started at 8, a normal person would wake up at we would wake up at 6, get there at 7, make sure we're good. The producers had to get there way early and set up the streams and everything. And LJ was deaf, so he wouldn't put an alarm clock on. He had a machine that shook his bed violently.
Yeah.
A
And
machine.
try staying in the room with that dude.
Yeah, it would wake him up. It was so loud. Man, so Willie, I kind of forget I don't know if I forget, but I don't exactly recall the details. How did it come that we started doing the show together?
I don't know, because you started the solo in Virginia, correct?
I only did like 4 episodes though, and then you were on. I think it was, or I know it was, you did your podcast and I was doing FRL, and then we decided do it together.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even realize I did a podcast show called Overflow for like 10 episodes. I don't know how many, not long. And then I think we just scrapped it and joined up. But how you guys know how many, like, this is 1,000, which congratulations, by the way. It's awesome. It's a part of the American Wrestling Week, really, that you look forward to. You listen to FRL, but where was I? Was I like around 600, 700 when the cutoff was?
Yeah. So Ben's, what was your
Somewhere
first?
around there?
440 something.
So you.
It was that.
Yeah. So, well, we didn't do as many. We only did like 2, and so
You guys started at 1 a week.
Yeah.
Was it really? So 1 a week, and then 2 a week,
Yep.
and then early, right before Corona, we went to 3. So we've really accelerated the amount of episodes. But yeah, you were on for several years.
The
What?
Pfizer vac will accelerate some stuff.
What?
I shouldn't say stuff. The vax has weird consequences.
Okay.
Hey, I want to hear about how you plucked Christian Pyles out and brought him to FloWrestling.
Frankly, listen, I'm still to this day like a big message board guy, and I know that's has its pros and cons. But I think Christian was on message boards, and I just thought his commentary. I thought he got it, and I thought he was witty and kind of, sarcastic, sardonic, and I don't know. I liked his style. He ticked some people off often, but he also knew his stuff, and I think we started like DMing and stuff from there, like slid into his DMs. That's what the kids say.
That's right.
Was his username Christian Pyles, or did he have some other username?
VA is for lovers.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was you.
You didn't know I was a lover from Virginia?
Yeah, and it started off like I remember the first big one was, at the time it was just me, Bader, Joe Flo, and maybe Brad Key, but maybe not. Maybe Nick Villicat, but maybe Nick Villicat was there, but he was just like social and stuff. But I was in charge of like, okay, the NCAA is coming up. Let's have a plan. And I asked Kale Kale said, "Do you have a plan?" But I thought to myself, all right, we could use some supplemental stuff. Christian, so I just said, so Christian wasn't like being paid, I don't think, at the time.
No.
I was just like, hey, man, anything supplemental you could do. If you're watching NCAs and you have an idea for an article or a piece or a stats or thing, throw it at me, throw it at us. And so it was just that, right? It was just nothing guaranteed. And I remember he kicked some butt on that coverage, even remotely, and bolstering what was a small staff at the time. And then I was like, yeah, this dude's passionate about it. So
Now,
snowballed from there.
for sure. Now, what I think some of my favorite memories of FRL are doing shows with you, and the times before the show I think were just as entertaining as the time before. But before we did the show together, you just kind of would just carry me around on your computer all day because I was in Virginia, and we would just be on a Skype call all day. And I feel like that was kind of how we knew we would be able to do the show together, and it would definitely work. Because I think kind of from the jump there was this I don't know, a personal connection beyond the wrestling that I think resonated and was both funny, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny because Christian would just stay. We would just stay on Skype all day, and I'd go around the office and carry my laptop. And
I'm picturing
was
like a
like Christian
paper
was at
mache
the office,
on the shoulder.
but there was a secret. There was a secret method to that. Like there was a method behind, a reason behind that rationale, because I knew well, number one, we just talked wrestling all day, right, which was great, and that's fun. But I knew that there was probably going to become a time where, listen, you either got on board or you stayed in Virginia, and a part of me always having you on the computer was to get familiarity with the office. So maybe one day you pulled the trigger and moved to Austin, and you ultimately did that. So I think it worked out.
It did work out. I'm very glad to be here.
Because listen, I don't know if people know, but I had to like beg and plead and convince Christian to move to
This guy
Texas,
loves
'cause
Virginia.
he was,
He loves Virginia.
he loves
lover.
Virginia.
About it.
I do love it. I miss it. And I would not, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be in Austin, Texas right now without Willie's pull and draw. And it was fun. Man, I do feel like there is like an element of, you know, obviously the last couple of years have been, the reason this is a surprise is sort of not a secret to anyone. And,
A little bit of an understatement.
and I think, you know, maybe you're sitting there. I think some of these, you know, there's, I'm sure some people online and the gossips, they want to see the drama and hear about it. And I think, you know, at some point in time, maybe we sit down and we do hash it out, but I don't feel like that's for today. I think today's for today and catching up a little bit. And
On that
Today
note,
is for lovers.
today is for lovers.
Celebrating episode 1000.
yeah. On that note, I think we should revisit one of my favorite memories of you two on the mic together when you guys called 2015 Kyle Snyder's World Championship match from the floor. This is awesome. Let's play it.
He's going to take him out for one. 1 point to Kyle Snyder. He gets on the board first.
Europeans are really tough in those crackdown positions.
And there's he gets the shot again. He's on the leg. He's on the leg. Get him for it. 2 on the end. Kyle Snyder gets the takedown. Takedown Snyder. He's up 3-1. Kyle Snyder's up 3-1 on Kadisov. Kadisov might be fading, you guys. It's looking really good for Kyle Snyder. Getting a lot of reactions. Oh no, there's a shot from Kadisov in deep. And he's going to finish, going to tighten this thing up. Snyder working hard. Inside control. Shot! Close shot! Oh, he got it! He got it! He got the finish! He's up! Keep working there! Keep working there, Kyle! Keep working there, Kyle! Delete that clock! Ankle pick! 15 to go! He's up at 1 with 15 seconds to go! I can't believe it! I can't believe it! 15 seconds! Hand! Circle Kyle! Circle Kyle Snyder! Circle! No! He stepped out! He stepped out!
You got to check. You got to.
Kyle's winning! Kyle's winning!
Kyle's winning on a
5-5.
2.
5
Kyle's
seconds
winning on
to
a
go.
2.
He's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! Kyle Snyder! Kyle Snyder! Kyle Snyder! Woo!
Man.
He does it! Kyle Snyder's a world champion! At 19 years old!
Man, you guys
I
were
can't
nuts.
believe it, Willie! I cannot believe it!
Oh man.
What a call.
Gosh.
It was great.
That was
That's right up there with the kick 6 call.
honestly like, man, remember we didn't really know. We just, so many things are just, we just thought, hey, let's do this. So we're like, hey, what if I did FRL, the entire worlds? The entire week long? We did a week long FRL, Willie.
Yeah, we didn't really know what we were doing, but that was awesome and pure. And you know, Tyler said, but that was one of the ones that I came up with. Tyler, in preparation for the shows, you know, said, "What's some of your favorite memories?" And it's interesting. It's interesting that you said that coming into the office was some of the best parts of the memories is like brainstorming or just getting to the office early. Me and Christian were the first ones at the office every day, 6:30, 7 o'clock, whatever. I mean, we were the guys opening the building. And to sit there and have a back and forth, have a cup of coffee, joke around. To me, the best parts of FRL day was the hour, 2 hours before the show, getting ready for it. But when Tyler asked me, you know, thinking of some of the best FRL moments, that Kyle Snyder was one because that was technically FRL. This technically wasn't FRL, but one of my favorite things I ever did was conference weekend live all weekend with Ben in Austin, and that's at a time when Flo had Big 12s live, EIWA's live, Big 10s live, and so me and Ben stayed there the whole weekend and ate Jamaican food. We ate
Tacos.
oxtail.
And tacos.
Yeah, we would see on, and it was really good. At, you know how Ben is. At like one point, he was like, "Willie, that's not how you do that." And I'm like, "All right, what's that mean?" He's like, he starts clearing out space and showing moves on me. I didn't sign up for this. Ben, if you don't know, Ben puts a hand on you, immediately bruise. You're like hurt. Talk about heavy hands, but that was one of the funnest times. And then, Nomad and Kyle, Nomad's takes were just, you almost wait for him to set you up with something. They were just hilarious.
Do you remember what we figured out about that? You figured this out. The timing, do you remember this?
Oh, what was it again?
45 minutes in. It was like 40 to 45 minutes. He would have something harebrained.
45 minutes in. 45 was like 45 minutes in, he would just go haywire and just be like, I need to say something. I don't care what it is. I just need to say something. And he would say something wild.
I
would also like to take.
Willie, you did your crystal ball. I keep seeing in the background, right? And I feel like, on purpose, you said like 3 names that were just so stupid that they were unbelievable just so you could argue with people.
No,
they were mostly really good. There's the one, who was it? It was like, it was a 49 or 57 from North Carolina who was never any good. And you said he was going to take like 3rd. Who was it?
Sure. Mason Phillips.
That
was a bad one. That was certainly a bad one. He had a half decent redshirt year, but I think he waxed Quincy Monday. He might have tech-falled Quincy Monday in Super 32 finals.
Oh.
And so that's why I was like high on him. That was terrible. That was a bad pick. That's absolutely true.
It is my favorite.
Mostly it was pretty good, but it was like you get a rando in there every once in a while.
Yeah. I guess I held on to that match too much.
That's my favorite thing to do is watch one match, remember it, and then just make your take on somebody from that one point of data forever.
I know. Hey, JD, I liked your comment. It's a whole new category. In fact, I'm trying to get WrestleStat to add its subcategory to results for sad losses.
Bad boy hours.
Bad boy hours. Yeah.
Bad boy hours.
Making excuses forever.
But
hey, we talk about it, but it's the thing.
Before my segment's up, I definitely want to take credit for, if not being responsible for it, at least certainly encouraging it to be a regular thing, and that's Kyle Bradkey's Alien Hour.
Did you hear?
Hey, did you hear today's? It was about some skinwalkers.
I didn't.
Skinwalkers, and now that you're out in Idaho, they're out kind of by you.
Wait, Willie?
Yeah, I got to do some. I've only been out here for a couple months, but I'm in Squatch country.
Yeah,
gotta go Skinwalker behind Christian.
There's the Skinwalker.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but there's one. This trail cam is proof that the Skinwalkers are real.
Oh yeah, that exists.
But I remember you really believe in aliens, though, and
I truly do.
You were so upset that I don't.
Because you're a logical human being.
That's always
kind of with you, Willie. Space is endless.
Just math, right? Just probabilities. Ben, what's your stance on aliens?
I don't think about it much, but I mean, from a probabilistic standpoint, I think you're probably right.
It doesn't
you
come
think
up.
you are so special that you are the only human in the universe? No,
Yeah.
No, I think there's billions.
Well, we're closing in towards the end of our time.
This
our
is
time
so
with Willie,
fast.
But I want to before we let Willie go, I really think there's an important argument between the two of you that we should revisit.
Yeah.
If we can play audio clip 40.
It wasn't physical out conditioning. They were
Thomas Gilman isn't out more conditioned than Ethan Lezak.
Come on, man. Yes, he is.
Obviously.
Yes, he is. To break somebody requires you pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. Gilman didn't even have the opportunity to do that because he was underneath.
So he exerts no energy from on top?
He did not gas out Lezak from bottom. And if you say that, that is absurd. He did not gas out Lezak from bottom.
He had absolutely nothing left in the third.
I agree
Because
with
he
Willie.
had an 8-2 lead on Thomas Gilman and he didn't know how to handle it.
Whatever, dude.
What do you mean, whatever? Look at the first takedown. The first takedown of the third period was not because Lezak was so gassed. It was because he's a deer in the headlights. You can't even, with a straight face, say that Gilman gassed Lezak
He looked exhausted
through
to
two
me.
periods.
He was
He
bottom.
looked gassed. He didn't even have the opportunity to break him.
He performed.
He was on bottom for 4 minutes.
He performed gassed.
If Lezak,
We'll find out the next match.
Lezak, no, that's not the same situation.
Gas.
That's not because
Pretend
what
it's
I'm
fake.
saying is Lezak forfeited the third period mentally.
You don't know that.
Forfeited.
You're just saying it because you want to win.
He
another.
gassed him
You
from
wanna-
bottom.
You said that, not me.
You said that. You said that this morning. Can I get verification that Christian Paul said that Gilman gassed him from bottom this morning?
Because he did.
You just said 3 seconds ago that you didn't say it. I said
I didn't
it.
say it on radio.
So,
Okay.
Incredible.
once and for all, did he gas him from bottom?
Yes.
No, it's impossible to gas somebody from bottom. First of all, it's not a thing. Who invented that term?
I think maybe
Gas
me.
from bottom?
I'd like to. I would
It
like.
might have been you.
It may have been my wonder. I'll take
credit
it.
for that?
I'll take credit for
I
it.
thought Gilman actually said it. I thought
It
Gilman
was
actually.
after me.
surprisingly. It was surprising. And I want to get Ben's take because Ben is like the smartest wrestling.
Someone calm the brain, but
I have never heard of that concept before.
Gas from
or
bottom.
After, really.
No, never
Uh,
seen it
But,
ever.
but
we're just gonna have this whole debate
ever.
again.
Willie.
But surprisingly, the community, there was a significant portion, I'm not saying a majority, but a significant portion who was like, yeah, he kind of did bass from bottom. Ben, what do you? Is
I
it
knew this
possible?
was
What do
going
you
to
think?
happen, and Tyler put me in. So I rewatched it. I can't believe how right I was.
No.
100%. And Tyler, what I did is I sort of commentated the action Gilman was doing the whole time. He made him work. I don't want to rehash the whole thing, but all I know is at the NCAAs that year, Thomas Gilman said he didn't wear himself. I wore him out. I wore him out from the bottom
said
position.
that.
Why would he have to say that?
All right. Well,
Slightly biased.
I appreciate you guys indulging me. Willie, is there anything you want to say before we depart with you?
No. Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited. I'm really glad that I'm part of the 1000th episode, and it's probably not the juiciness and the clashing that some people expected. But today's a day to celebrate the history of, to have fun, to have some laughs, celebrate the history of FRL, which is, obviously one of. I think it should be renamed the second word, but no, it's obviously a fabric of wrestling media, and that's what we're here to do. And maybe another time we'll do some fighting.
Thank you so much, Willie.
Appreciate you, Willie. Talk to you later. Thanks, bud.